Today we're going to be predicting the 77 kilogram bracket. We're going to try and put our brains together and come up with what we think this bracket might look like for ADCC. But before we get into that, I want to tell you guys that the FloGrappling show is brought to you by Merrick Health, helping athletes optimize hormones, improve recovery, and maximize performance through precision lab testing and expert medical oversight. Use code FLO, that's FLO, now for 10% off both Merrick Diagnostics and Merrick Health at merrickhealth.com/FloGrappling. Go get you some Merrick, get on the mats, train harder, train longer. Make sure your cardio doesn't suck like mine, all right, boys? I see everybody commenting. You got to get on the Merrick so your cardio's not embarrassing like mine. But now let's jump into the episode and start predicting this bracket. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the FloGrappling show, a.k.a. the worst show on the internet. As always, I'm Trey Robinson. We got Big Uncle Reed right there, and then old Joe Gilpin right there. We were, or I guess I wasn't. I was watching at home, but you boys were at the ADCC Youth World Championship, huh? What was the vibes like watching these young, jacked kids shirtless, just throwing down, scrapping it out with each other, huh?
Well, now I don't know if I should say it was a great time, now that we prefaced it with a bunch of shirtless boys running around.
You had some stories, Joe.
I sure did. Man, what an incredible tournament. The future of jiu-jitsu is so bright, couldn't be brighter. So many awesome kids really showing out. I was really impressed by the technique, by the mindset, people winning with grace, people losing with grace, but obviously everybody was really excited to be there. Mo put on a great tournament. All the people there, I thought, put on a really great event for the kids. Man, what a tournament. What'd you think, Reed?
Yeah, no, a lot of fun. We're in this full ADCC swing, so it feels good to get another big dose of an important ADCC tournament, especially for all these young kids and everything like that. So it was great to be out there here in Austin, Texas, right in our backyard. And I think we were all there at the T-Mobile Center in 2024 for the first ever ADCC Youth Championships. And I think we all walked away kind of being a little bit blown away by the whole tournament and just, watching, guys like the Sains and obviously Icaro and Daniel 220 and stuff back in 2024. We kind of left there being like, whoa, there's something here. There's something pretty incredible. Obviously, a lot of these kids who are so dedicated, more dedicated than any kids, in previous generations, it seems like. So to see them kind of on this path, we're probably going to see them at trials, this kind of next iteration.
100%.
Guys like James Ortiz has already kind of competed at the trials.
Colby Gonzalez has done trials.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of these kids are doing trials right now in the lower weight classes, but it seems like this next iteration of the trials, we're going to see a lot of these kids, contending for medals and stuff in the trials. So it really gives you a window into what the sport is going to look like in 2, 3, 5 years.
Bebe Junko placed top 4 at the East Coast trials, and I think she made top 8 at West Coast trials and did not win her bracket over the weekend. And she's still, every bit as world class as she ever was. That just tells you the level that was at this tournament. Yeah. Genuinely world class across the board. There's so many kids that we could talk about. What an awesome performance they had. James Ortiz was definitely one who I thought stole the show. We've been pushing him as somebody who is helping to represent this next generation. Who's number one? Won that Youth Grand Prix. Incredible performance there. Goes down to BJJ Stars. Has an incredible performance there. And then all subs here at Youth Worlds to capture gold. I thought it was just another building block in him becoming a future star in this sport.
Yeah, I've got a little video here, Greg, actually, if we could maybe play just to kind of show the final sequence of James Ortiz's, there it is, James Ortiz's final here at the ADCC Youth Championships against another who's number 1 veteran, Matthew Bam Bam Velez. Both these guys were scrapping the whole match. As you can see, there's just about 30 seconds left, I think, or somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. And, I think we've been high on James Ortiz for a while now, and James Ortiz has been, went down there in BJJ Stars, and who's number 1, he had an incredible performance. But this performance, I think, this weekend to me just solidifies James Ortiz as like maybe the number 1 prospect kind of out there. And I know that sounds like maybe a little bit of a hyperbole, but man, there is nobody more exciting out there right now, I feel like, and who's just like crushing dudes and who's good with the camera, good personality, fun to watch.
So
passionate, dynamic jiu-jitsu style. Like if you guys are not watching James Ortiz yet, you will be forced to watch him very soon because he's going to be one of the best in the world. But I think that this is just kind of solidifying to me as James Ortiz as like the guy to watch right now.
I mean, like, so watching at home and everything, for one, there's so many divisions and everything at the Youth World Championship, kind of like a shocking number, where it's like, I kind of agree that Jay Ortiz is like the next like major prospect, but also it's like, there's kind of even younger dudes who are also or is he old in comparison?
I think he's old
now.
Some
of these on the older side, and then there's like Izaki Lima's right there though, and then he lost over the weekend to Sidney Katz, and I don't even know if Sidney Katz won his division. You know what I mean? Just like there's so many kids that they all do seem like the next big thing.
100%. It's like obviously Daniel 220 is like one of the most insane little young grapplers out there right now. Now, was I happy with the result of that? No way. Daniel 220 versus Kaio Sainz. I kind of like Daniel 220, and I love Kaio Sainz. All right,
Tread lightly here, Trey. Tread lightly.
This was tough to see, but I have to admit that it was kind of insane by Daniel 220 because we know how good Kaio Sainz is.
We know how good Kaio is. Yeah, 100%.
We're watching Kaio Sainz versus Daniel 220, the match of the weekend.
I did not want to show this, by the way.
Trey voted
No, it was not.
This.
Reed wanted to watch this so bad. Boondy's in Austin right now, dude. I get one call, Reed, and you're done, dude.
I don't want, dude. At one point, I was sitting in a chair, and Papa Sainz came up behind me and was like, "That's Boondy's seat," and I was like, I sprinted to the other side of the arena.
Really happened?
Yeah, that really happened.
Why was it his seat?
It wasn't. He was just joking with me. But.
That's hilarious.
But I mean,
look at his performance.
This was incredible.
40 seconds. Daniel 220.
Just an insane sequence here from Daniel 220.
He acted like he had something to prove this weekend.
You guys know that movie Little Man?
Yeah.
Where it's like a grown man.
Wayans brothers.
Yeah, one's like a grown man baby. That's Daniel 220, dude. Stop pretending to be a little boy.
He is. It's easy to see why you say that. Just super jacked, super disciplined, and super technical. Traps that arm in the arm triangle from the back. Just such a game over position.
Okay, I do remember this movie actually. Yeah.
And you see the emotion there, and that was the way it was all weekend with all these kids. Man, they acted like they were winning a world title. They felt like they were winning a world title because they were winning a world title. These gold medals prove that they're the best no-gi ADCC style grappler for whatever their division was, age and weight. And Daniel 220, absolutely a stud. I know that he took a loss at the IBJJF Kids Pans, which was crazy, lost by an advantage down there, but came back and stormed his way to gold. Looked like the prospect that he gets talked about.
It's like just the amount of kids right now that are so good at jiu-jitsu. It's like it kind of like doesn't make sense in my head whenever you start thinking of like what is 2030 trials going to look like? What is 2032 trials going to look like? Like it's like if all of these kids who are like multiple time ADCC Youth World Champions now, like Daniel 220's 14, I think, like 13, 14-ish, and in 4 years he's going to be 18 at trials. But like all of these kids are elite. Like how you mentioned, like Izak Lima is kind of like a kid who's been like, earmarked in Brazil as like this could be a potential next Mika type of dude. He goes out and loses to an Alpha Miami kid, Sidney Katz. So it's like, okay, is Sidney Katz like that elite? It's just like there's so many of these kids that are so good. Is trials in 2030 going to just be like 200 people deep, but like there's legitimately 100 potential winners? Like because you have all the people currently who are like can win trials, and now you have like this crop of 18-year-olds, and they're just like watching. There's just an unlimited supply of them. Like, is it going to be absolutely nuts? Or are these kids going to quit training? Like, what's going to happen? Like, it doesn't make sense, to be honest.
100%, because in 4 years, like little Jacob is still going to be training and doing his thing. You know what I mean? And like entering trials and whatever. I bet Max
Wagner will still be there.
Wagner will still be there 100%. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's definitely so many of these divisions where 4 years, like go back 4 years ago and look at some of the trials. It's a lot of the same names, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're going to get this wave of new blood coming in, and all these kids who have 300 ADCC matches, they all have 10 times the ADCC matches that somebody like JT Torres has ever had. They're going to set a new standard.
Yeah, I feel like even still with trials, we're hearing those storylines of like, I've only been training for 6 years. I've only been training for X amount of years. Like,
and I'm 8.
Yeah, or like, I mean like the Nicky Rod did it, and even kind of like Pixley did it a little bit. And I feel like Nick Hartman, it kind of started late and hasn't been training jiu-jitsu as long. And so like, you're still hearing about that kind of right now. But yeah, I feel like in 2030, it's going to be much, much harder that if you haven't started training when you were 4 or 8 years old or whatever. whatever to get to the top of the podium, because so many of these kids have so much experience. The under 20 is now a 2-time youth kids world champion. You know, he's felt the lights, he's felt the pressure, he's felt that already at 13 years old. So it's just going to kind of continue to compound, I feel like, right?
They also just have hundreds and hundreds of matches.
Exactly.
Like, it's insane. They might have thousands of matches, to be honest. Like, these kids compete all the time. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like, I'm excited for this year, but I kind of want to fast forward a little bit to like 2032 and just be like, what the freak is this going to look like, dude? Like, at this rate, like, it's kind of insane. I do think you're right. Like, the days of, 9 months. I've been training 9 months or whatever it was. Like,
I college wrestled and did 2 classes, and here I am. Yeah,
it's like that's got to be a fleeting thing, If at least for the lighter divisions, unless these young kids start putting on some insane size, which they might. Like, but.
Yeah.
By the way, I think I was trying to run some numbers. I think we were at like an 80% submission rate for the entire tournament.
What was the cry rate?
Also not zero, not zero. But 50%. Because,
that's right.
But we were at like an 80% submission rate. Tons of people were able to win with all submissions, up from the 7/8s to all the way through the U17s. Colby Gonzalez had that crazy flying armbar.
That was insane.
Zoe Freeman, who's #1 veteran, all submissions, and as a smaller grappler, made it to the end of the made it to the finals of the absolute. Lost to Charlie Caballero, I think was her name. That was an awesome division to watch as well. Just so many impressive people.
Who ended up winning the absolutes, and also how many absolute divisions were there? Was it by age?
Yeah, every age. So like boys 15 through 17, girls 15 through 17. That Sydney Katz Izaki Lima was in the absolute, for example. So Sydney Katz was the U17 absolute champ. So you gotta, shout out to him. That was an absolutely crazy performance from Alpha Miami. Alpha Miami was so dialed in all weekend. Michael Sainz in the corner.
They said they had 16 finalists.
Yeah, AOJ had 11. And AOJ did end up winning the team title overall. And got to shout them out. One Kids Pans, one ADCC Youth Worlds. AOJ is the best youth competition team in the world right now. You could talk about, they have so many kids, by percentages, maybe other schools are, so many schools are doing amazing things. But for right now, if you win IBJJF Kids Pans and ADCC Youth Worlds in the same year, you're the best.
Yep.
AOJ,
nothing else
#1.
Anybody can really say.
Yeah.
I feel like, but
Actually, I don't think Azak Lima Sydney Katz was.
Oh, that wasn't in the absolute?
Because Azak won the absolute.
Oh, okay.
So that must have been in the division final.
There you go.
I guess.
My bad.
Very hard to follow whenever you're like.
A lot of divisions, a lot of kids out there and stuff, So, but
I'm trying to figure out who won. Did Icaro win? Yeah, Icaro won.
Icaro won, but that was only one match. And
got the rear naked choke, I believe, in the final.
So no Daniel 220.
Daniel 220 did not do it. Did not see the Daniel 220 Icaro rematch.
Who are these super fights too? There's a couple super fights.
I feel like Icaro and Daniel 220 are starting to get that Mika Tynan thing of let's not fight until it's for a lot of money.
Dude, it's like they're so young though, bro. You guys should fight 1,000 times.
6 times a year, yeah, 100%.
No, that's another side of it where I'm like, man, are we creating a bunch of young monsters, dude, who are just like, what the freak are you talking about? I'm a 4-time ADCC champion. I'm double gold. What are these kids going to be like by the time they get a black belt? They might not talk to us. I don't know.
Too big time for you, for sure.
Well, not some of them, like Kaio, because
Kaio will always stay strong.
Remembers the roots. All right.
I went and picked up Michael Sainz Friday. Michael came and trained with us at Paragon.
Yes.
And I went to their Airbnb, the Sainz Clans' Airbnb. Just loaded up Airbnb. I walk in, Papa Sainz, Mama Sainz, they were outside right when I got there, good, warm welcome, nice greeting, felt good to be there. They're like, come inside. I come inside. I'm just looking around. There's just shirtless, jacked kids wearing baggy jean shorts and do-rags all over. Just rocking level black chains and stuff.
Just squatted up.
Yeah, and they were just hanging on the couch in the coolest posture possible. And I was just like, oh shit. And Kyle got up, and he was like, what's up, my boy, But I was like, why are there so many kids wearing do-rags right now? It was awesome.
They're protecting their waves.
Yeah, about to do a wave check, but yeah, so
That rules.
Youth Worlds was crazy. I mean, just go look at all the highlights on Instagram and stuff if you want to feel bad about your jiu-jitsu. You know, it's like these kids are absolutely nuts, just so incredibly good at jiu-jitsu. But
the way Colby just like lands straight on his head.
How long's that last?
Like it's nothing though. You know, it's like, dang, yeah, it's nice to be young for sure.
Definitely. You know, a crazy thing to think about is Jocelyn Molina could have been there. You know?
Oh, yeah.
She's at Worlds, so she was like...
But she could have.
She
could have been there.
She could have been there for sure.
She maybe should have, honestly.
Part of when she said, like, oh, yeah, we're making sure that I don't get hurt is like, you're going to put everybody through a table.
She also did the Austin Open, right? Like the day before?
Maybe she did.
I think she did. I think she competed at the Austin Open. Anyways,
she was around all weekend. She was hanging out, dapping up. Jocelyn very much presents as one of the homies. One of the fellas.
Young legend out there for sure. You know,
imagine
everybody's got respect for Jocelyn.
All these kids must look up to her like crazy. Just like, damn, you are you're already doing it.
Dude, they look up to like all these kids. Like Icaro, kids are looking up to. Daniel 220, you know, like has like this Brazilian squad of kids.
They're little professionals.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know who they all genuinely, and I've been told this by like several of the parents, like Jocelyn and her family, and I think even like
Cole.
The one they all look up to at the ADCC youth level, Colby. They all say like that's the guy who's Colby Gonzalez.
Doing it right.
Is like that's the most scary kid at any tournament in any bracket. If you see Colby, he's going to win that bracket.
Fair enough.
Legit.
I mean, definitely legit. All right, you guys want to get into trying to predict this 77 kilogram?
Yeah, really excited.
Bracket?
Obviously, we're a month out now from ADCC. In 4 weeks, we're going to be in Poland deciding who the best grapplers in the world are. So, you know, we're in the final stretch. It's coming. We got all the invites. Most of the invites and everything are out there on the table. Obviously, this is not going to be an official bracket. This is just the boys kind of using our heads and what we think and stuff like that. But this is in no way an official bracket in any way. Just want to put that.
Flo doesn't have input into the bracket.
Not have input onto the brackets, so ADCC will put that together. But we thought it would be fun for us. We know a little bit about jiu-jitsu. We follow the sport, so let's see if we can kind of put together what the bracket might look like, and see if we can kind of check out what these first round matches are going to look like.
Yeah, so off the rip, number 1 seed, Michael Sainz ends up pulling out Kaio Sainz.
Number one seed.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
But,
and there are a couple of things to keep in mind with ADCC, the way they typically do the brackets that we're trying to draw from. I know last time they did it so that teammates could meet up in the semifinals. I think they're probably going to go back to teammates meeting up in the quarterfinals. That's how I'm operating. Is that how you're operating?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think so.
And they try to avoid rematches, right? So like Michael Sainz, Jacob Borneman, they fought trials finals. Definitely not going to be a first round match. Probably not even going to be a second round matchup if they can avoid it.
Yep.
So there's like certain things like that.
Theoretically speaking, too, they also generally go with like medalists, right, as like top seeds.
Yeah, it's very what you've done at ADCC focused. So like,
which I think makes this bracket much more complicated. Honestly.
I agree.
Like.
Yep. So if I just scroll down here, if you just take a look at the 16 guys who are currently entered. Of course, anything can happen. We're 4 weeks out, and we do sometimes see athletes pulling out and stuff, getting hurt. It happens all the time. So these are the 16 that are in right now, but this could possibly change. So we got Wagner Hosha, PJ Barch, Elijah Dorsey, Magomed Jarbayev, Nikolai Vetrov, Jacob Borneman, Michael Sainz, Taylor Pearman, Kaya Rudolph, Julio Martins, Alessandro De Jesus,
Robinho,
Mateus Gamrot, Dante Leon, Mateusz Jasinski, Tommy Longacher, and rounding it out with Oliver Taza. So 16 pretty elite competitors.
Definitely.
Hard to choose. It's going to be a tough battle to see kind of where everybody slots in. Everybody has some good results here over the last couple of years, but we're going to try to do it anyway.
Off the rip, do you guys have any clear 1 seeds?
So who's the 1 seed? Who's the clear 1 seed?
I think there is a clear 1 seed to say, but you know, I'll put Wagner Hocha.
I think Wagner will be the clear
Returning
one.
silver medalist.
Returning silver medalist, multiple time bronze medalist.
Has medaled at the last four times he's been at ADCC. He's medaled in this division. No other person at this tournament in Krakow has done that. Yeah, absolutely insane. He's beaten PJ, has beaten Dante under ADCC rules. at ADCC Worlds, I think Wagner is definitely going to be the 1 seed when we get to Krakow.
I agree. I think Wagner has done enough to be the 1 seed. Like I said, I think they do heavily skew a lot of ADCC results. Of course, Wagner is the oldest competitor in this bracket, and there's a lot of young competitors in there. Michael Sains, Jacob Borneman, plenty of young cats. So the oldest guy in the division, he's been out there since 2011. So his 7th ADCC. Lost to Mika in 2024. Mika's not returning. I think Wagner gets the 1 seed.
Definitely.
All right, fair enough.
We want to go 2 seed next?
Yeah, I guess that would probably be easier just to do it like that, right?
Yeah. 2 seed next. So we've got PJ Barch, who's the returning bronze medalist.
This is where it gets hard, right?
We've got Elijah Dorsey, who is the 4th place from 2024. I think it's important to shout out Mateusz Jasinski here as well, just because I think no one has had as good a year as Mateusz Jasinski has had in this past 12 months. I feel like that might be safe to say. Incredible wins recently over DeAndre Corby, Michael Liera Jr. He's had a hell of a year. It is in Poland as well, and Mateusz will be representing Poland at ADCC. So just wanted to shout him out as well. But I feel like the 2 seed is going to be one of those guys potentially. What do you guys think?
Dante has to be considered too.
Did I not say
right?
Dante? Sorry.
Yeah,
Dante as well.
Sorry. ADCC absolute medalist in 2024, but obviously that's complicated by him losing first round to Elijah, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think this is really, for me, it's a toss-up between PJ and Dante. Those are the 2 guys that I think you would really have to consider for this. Who do you guys kind of favor?
I mean, I kind of feel like just off the rip, like my own, like what I think, and if I'm taking not as much of a like what's ADCC going to do, but just like, what would I do? I kind of think Dante. I think this is where it's going to get complicated with like, this is kind of feels like a big time European vibe, It's like it does feel like maybe a European guy's going to get a little bit. This would be the chance for them to get a pretty high seed. And one thing I've learned, European people, huge on Mateusz Jasinski.
Mm-hmm.
It's like top to bottom. Everyone talks about Mateusz Jasinski. We go to Los Bandidos, they're talking about Mateusz Jasinski. We go to freaking Spain, they're talking about Los Bandidos. Polaris talks about Los. You can't say Mateusz Jasinski is one of the best European grapplers on earth without Polaris being pissed at you for just saying that he's not just one of the straight up greatest on earth. So
and just Europe.
Yeah,
he's number 1 on earth.
Exactly. But and I also think European organizers running ADCC probably love Mateusz Jasinski. So it's like that's where it's a little weird because Mateusz Jasinski, not even a trials champion, ever. So like that's kind of crazy to think about. He has some insane moments at ADCC, but he doesn't have like an insane performance when it comes down to like trials or the World Championship where he like put it together, won a trials all submissions. Like Taylor Pearman won trials all submissions before. Didn't do it this year, but like, so it's like that just makes it so complicated in my opinion. I think I would have to go with Dante Leon just out of like who I think kind of has established himself on the ADCC stage, especially since he submitted Mika in like the 77 kilogram champion, which is insane. I know it's a little different when it comes back around the absolute, but that's why I guess that's my case for leaning Dante. What do you think, Reed?
Yeah, I really think it's sort of a coin flip, to be honest, between PJ and Dante at this point.
I lean PJ personally.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
I think getting it done in the weight class is super impactful. Obviously, had that super close match with Mika. I do think this is the 2 and the 3 seed, and ultimately they're going to have pretty similar paths regardless. I don't think there's anywhere you can hide in this bracket. Me personally, I lean towards PJ getting it done in the weight class. If it was absolute seeding, I would definitely put Dante higher than PJ, right? Mm-hmm. But we're not seeding the absolute. So I personally side with PJ. That's my vote.
Dang.
No, so you got to decide.
I'm the bracket. I really think it's 50-50. But I don't know.
Also, let's point out, we're going to have to put Jacob Borneman in the corner with Dante, or in the quarter with Dante, because they're both Pedigo, so they would have to meet no later than the second round.
True.
So whichever way we put, are we going to put, if we don't put, never mind. What's the answer, Reed?
I am going to lean PJ, I think.
All right. PJ Barge, 2 seed.
3 seed Dante.
I'm telling you guys, though, we show up, and it's going to be Mateusz Szczecinski, 2 seed. Like,
very easily.
watch.
PJ does have the Mateusz win at ADCC, right? But yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from with that.
Dante's beating Mateusz at
ADCC?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are Mateusz's last. So maybe now we're talking about the 4-5 seed on the other side of the bracket. Maybe this is where they put Mateusz as like, let's get him away from some of these guys that have given him issues in the past.
I think there's no way Mateusz drops below the 4 seed, to be honest.
Who else could be the 4?
I think Elijah.
Elijah. It's like returning medalist.
Elijah
I think
and
the
Mateusz.
4-5 is Mateusz and Elijah somewhere in there. Elijah's been to ADCC one time. He won North American Trials, beat Nicky Ryan, and then in his first ADCC placed top 4. For me, that would be the 4 seed. And then you put Mateusz at the 5 seed, and I think that's an incredible quarterfinal.
You want me to start deleting some of the ones we already have seeded, Reed?
Sure. That'd be tight. So that would be, and we can also put as the 11 seed Jacob Borneman, because he's going to have to face Dante. So he's going to face whoever we put as the 6 seed, right?
So who are we saying 4? Mateusz or
Elijah? I think
Elijah?
the 4-5.
Yeah.
What do you guys? And I would go Elijah, then Mateusz.
Yeah, I go Mateusz, then Elijah. So you got to decide again.
Again, I think
It's all the same.
Yeah. I think I'll lean Mateusz. I think I'll lean Mateusz in the 4 seed.
Let's copy paste.
Yeah, how do I spell Mateusz's name? Okay. I can get pretty close, I feel like, but Mateusz.
I can get close, but not exact.
No, definitely not exact. And then Elijah at the 5.
Definitely. By the way, if anybody has not seen the Fix My Game that we put out with Mateusz Szczecinski, it's a really, really good one. He gives so many great details. Trey, thank you for donating your body to science on that one.
Yeah, go watch it and say something nice, dude. What the freak is wrong with you guys? I'm going out there, I'm getting destroyed by Mateusz Szczecinski, and you guys are calling me fat and my cardio sucks? Get real, dude. What the hell? You're focusing on the wrong things if you're watching that and worried about me looking fat in a rash guard, dude. Freaking lock in on your shotgun armbar. All you guys' shotgun armbars freaking suck, dude. You guys are watching the wrong shit. Go watch it again and don't even look at me this time. Just focus on the technique, you idiots. Freaking, and say something nice, or I'm not doing another one.
Let them know, Trey.
You know those videos like they do for like NFL quarterbacks or something where they just like totally block out the person and then they're like, "Who is this?" Next Fix My Game, 100%. Because I also
a big black bar over myself.
Yeah, we're just gonna be totally blacked out like fucking the last bad guy.
Yeah, what the hell are you guys tuning into a Fix My Game for? Watching 30 minutes of a technique video and only commenting about me. Watch the technique, dude. Go drill it with your girlfriend or something, bro. Like, what the hell's going on? But
or something.
I'm just kidding. I don't even mind. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but that is a great episode.
Hell yeah.
Mateusz shows some incredible stuff. And yeah, I look a little chunky these days, all right? I'm locking in, dude. If I get shredded, it's over for you guys. Like, you guys want me to have it all, man? You want me to have it all? Come on now. I gotta have some things not going for me. I thought I was gonna lose my hair, so then I'd be like a bald guy and be like, okay, that's fair. But no, I still got it, so I had to get a little chunky because people can't relate.
I'm incredibly handsome.
Yeah, dude. It's like freaking when Jonah Hill got skinny, everybody said he wasn't funny anymore, so he became an absolute dog and he would whoop your ass now. So it's like I'm a little bit on that side. I got fat because I was like, I thought this would help, but whatever, dude. I'm getting shredded. You guys are cooked, dude. Bunch of chuds. It's gonna be.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, dude. I'm freaking out, dude. I'm over it, man.
All right, we lost
podcast. Last episode.
I'm about to get shredded and do this show shirtless every episode.
In a do-rag.
Yeah, in a do-rag. I used to wear a do-rag when I played JUCO football. It was awesome.
Daniel 220 is about to be the new host of this podcast.
Yeah, dude. Oh, you guys want someone jacked, huh? I'm gonna find the most jacked little boy I can find, and he's gonna do Fix My Game for you guys. You freaking perverts. Stop watching him being a pervert, dude. Just focus on the technique. But all right, so anyway.
And I just want to say real quick that I think PJ just had one of the most impressive performances at 77, and he just had, many people would say that he potentially did beat Mika, I feel like, and he didn't, obviously, but a very, very close match. Could have gone either way. So I think because of that performance and the way he submitted Elijah in the third place match, I feel like that's why I didn't really preface why I leaned PJ, but that's why I leaned PJ. And then I think I leaned Mateusz Jasinski just because I think he just has such an undeniable kind of run going on right now, and we haven't seen Elijah Dorsey as much in Nogi and stuff like that, having some big wins. So I feel like that just kind of overshadows him just a little bit, and that's kind of my reasoning there. But 6th seed.
Yeah, totally Mateusz also #1 ranked lore grappler right now. Just has so much aura, so much lore around him, So, and I kind of like that he kind of knows it too. Like when we were talking to him and stuff, he knows that he has all this lore around him.
People fear him.
Yeah, 100%. Not me, went toe to toe.
Literally.
All right, where are we at? The 6th seed?
6th seed.
Whoever should we go with what Joe was saying though, and should we kind of like pick off some of these?
Would you say 11 there is going to be?
Whoever we pick here at the 11, or whoever we pick at the 6 is going to face the 11, which is going to be Jacob Bornemann. If we put Dante as the 3. So
Jacob not the 6? Because couldn't he be 6 or 11?
Same difference.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's where I guess the actual numbers don't matter too much.
And it's probably is worth pointing that out, is that a lot of times these are not like 1-for-1 seeded. Like
sometimes things move around. Yeah,
things move around. The organizers really want to see a really good match. Hey, let's get Dante versus Cole first round, because that would be, or not Dante versus Fabricio versus Cole first round, because that would be awesome. You know what I mean? Let's have these two guys face off, because stylistically that would be really interesting. And we're probably going to do a little bit of that too. Like, hey, this would be a tight match. Let's plug this in. If don't get too married to the numbers. I think we should consider Robinho. I think made the quarterfinals last time, has been to an ADCC Worlds and won matches at ADCC Worlds, or at least a match. I don't think anybody else on that list can say that, except Alfred Taza.
I was kind of leaning Taza as well.
But he has a trials loss this season too. But Robinho hadn't been in these streets. It's easy to not take a loss when you're not in the streets. So he has that loss to Vetrov. So I think Robinho against Jacob Bornemann, probably where I'm leaning-ish. Who else?
Do you have any preference in here?
I don't know. This is really tough.
I think Magomed.
Incredibly
I guess
hard.
You would maybe put Magomed Zarbayev above Taza.
Dante, super high on Magomed Zarbayev. He talked like super highly of him, and he thinks he's going to get a high seed. Whenever it hasn't came out yet, but we did a podcast with Dante.
It also beat Taza. Yeah.
So definitely above Taza.
I said it was Vetrov. It wasn't Vetrov. But Vetrov has beaten Taza in a different rule set. But yeah, Zarbayev is right there as well.
Dude, I could see him going Zarbayev.
I could see him going with Zarbayev.
Versus Little Jacob, just for like a crazy, like
scrap.
like Dagestan Russian wrestler versus American wrestler.
I'm down with that.
Like, I could see him liking that matchup.
I can see that. I think they're going to be high on Magomed. I think he's obviously a good wrestler from Russia.
Won the first trials.
Wins the first trials. Brings a lot of techniques that I think ADCC is really looking for in terms of standing techniques and stuff. So
I think from here until like a couple of people maybe at the bottom of the list, we're now kind of in like what's fun area. Like there's no more like super high seeds jumping off the page about like this guy's medaled before, this guy has done XYZ. It's a lot of people kind of in the mix from here on, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we got number 7 next, and this kind of bottom.
Robinho.
There's no other teammates in this division, right?
There's no other teammates that I can tell.
Yeah, I think.
Robinho.
Taza's a good one. Honestly, even though we got Zarbayev out of the way at the 6, maybe that puts Taza in at the 7.
How high do you guys think they're going to be on Mateusz Gamrot?
So I actually don't even know if Mateusz Gamrot is going to make it to ADCC.
He just took a submission loss.
Just took that submission loss, right? And got rocked right before that. And I know that he probably really wants to be there. It's
I missed the action over the weekend. He lost.
He lost,
bummer.
yeah.
Via submission.
Oh, bummer.
Got rocked on the feet, dropped, some rear naked choke first round.
Gotcha.
Crazy
I
one.
missed it.
Big Greg yeah, me and him were talking a little bit about it. And yeah, so if he's not able to go, that's also going to shake this up and just like completely shake up this bracket, obviously, because then you're talking about a guy like Kenta. You're talking about a guy like if you let Joey Gilps pick, you let Joey Gilps wave a wand, Kolabate comes in at 77. So I'm over the weekend, not looking small. Not looking like the smallest Kolabate I've ever seen, looking pretty jacked.
Kolabate?
Kenta, was there another one, too, we're tossing around there?
Yes, there was. Because there were two
Kaio.
people who were kind of on the outside still looking in, Kenta and someone else. It wasn't, I mean, Taylor obviously got in.
Trying to think who just Max Hansen.
Max Hansen, that's
Yeah,
what we're
Max
talking
Hansen.
about. Yeah, Max
Yep.
Hansen.
And-
So I think, Max Hansen or Kenta probably are going to get the next one if somebody does pull out, like Mateus Gamrot.
Then that's going to be one of those situations where it's going to be like Max Hansen and Little Jacob first round. Winner gets Dante. Which they've done before. You know, Atos in 2022 did that with Josh Hinger and Ty Rutolo meeting, and then Hulk Barbosa.
I kind of like these Alexandre there as the 7, Robinho as number 7. I feel like that makes sense.
Could
right.
see that. Could see that.
Next name that's really jumping
Then we
off
got
for me.
the 8 seed up here at the top.
Yeah, this is almost like snake draft style, where just like we get to pick two guys who are like pretty close to each other.
Yeah, 8 and 9.
How are we feeling about Ataza Michael Sains?
I do kind of feel like this is Michael Sains' territory. Like some seeding around here has got to be Michael Sains.
Damn, a second round Wagner Michael Sains match would be pretty nuts. Definitely an option, and you know, have that Miami connection. And I don't think Taza and Wagner have faced off before, so ADCC is going to like that. But yeah, talk about a generational clash, and usually, like growing up, it was Michael against Achilles. Now it could really be a whole thing. Who knows? Who knows how
that is kind of crazy to think about. Yeah. All right, I like Taza and Sains at 8 and 9.
Okay.
And now we've got the two. We've got another Euro Trials winner. We got Asian Trials winner and a Brazilian Trials winner, and then we've got 2 invites down here: Mateus Gamrot and Tommy Longacker.
And Taylor.
And Taylor was an invite. Yeah.
Sorry, and Taylor.
Okay. I guess they would probably
We're looking at a 10 seed, so that is going to be who's fighting Robinho.
Would it be easier to go the opposite side now? Like, who do you guys think is going to get the 16?
Love all these guys. Everyone fighting at ADCC is obviously super world class. Further comments that make you guys not yell at me when I see you in person, because I obviously think you're all beasts. Whatever I need to say to make you not yell at me, please pretend I have said that.
You're gonna
win. Just giving you bulletin board material because I believed in you secretly the entire time.
Like Kaya Rudolph?
Kaya Rudolph and Julio Martinez have got to be at the bottom of the list, right? Just haven't had as many opportunities to prove it at the highest levels. Kaya, one of the first New Zealand trials champions, very impressive Maori guy, going to be at ADCC, I think for the first time. Can't be sure about that, but I imagine for the first time. Trains with Lachlan
Asian
Giles.
Trials just doesn't have as much street cred.
Yeah. I feel like traditionally in ADCC, a lot of the Asian Trials winners, commandeer that 16, 15 spot.
Yeah,
it's just kind of historically how it's been.
Yeah, I think Kaya and Julio are probably going to face Wagner and PJ.
Yeah, so I'm kind of leaning towards Kaya as the 16.
I would go Kaya 16.
16, and then, I think we can take Julio as the 15, slot him in here versus PJ Barch.
I think he might be a hard J guy. I think that's what I found out at Polaris when he was
Brazilian, Brazilians pronounce the J.
Okay, so now we got Nikolai Vetrov, Taylor Perriman, Mateus Gamrot, Tommy Longacker. I kind of feel like Nikolai might be the highest
one because he beat Taylor in the finals, right?
Yeah.
That's one where it's like, jiu-jitsu math, doesn't really always work. It's like Nikolai Vetrov obviously beat Taylor Perriman in the finals, but Taylor Perriman has an all submissions trials run under his belt, Like, I don't know.
Maybe we should try to pick out, okay, who do we think Dante might face? What's a good Dante match? Or let's start here, because this is how they're going to do it. Where are we going to put Mateus Gamrot? because they're not going to give Mateusz Gamrot Dante, right? They're going to give
They're
him.
not going to give him Mateusz Kaczynski.
And they're not going to give him Mateusz Kaczynski.
So they're going to give him Elijah Dorsey.
They're going to give him Elijah Dorsey. There we go for Mateusz Gamrot.
Or Hobinho.
Ooh, Hobinho might be a little more like he's a lower seed, and I feel like they might like that. You know what I mean? So I could get talked into that.
What do you think, Reed?
I kind of like him against Elijah, though.
I feel like Elijah versus Mateusz Gamrot is a better match than Hobinho versus Mateusz Gamrot, but that's just like a personal preference thing.
That could be a pretty boring match.
I'm good with Mateusz Gamrot versus Elijah. I'm good with
Lock that in.
Roll with it.
Okay, so now we're down to 3 European boys: Nikolai Vetrov, Taylor Perriman, and Tommy Langaker.
Bummer.
I don't think there's any rematches really that we need to worry about. Who are we giving Mateusz Kaczynski? Because that's what they're going to think about next.
No, that's tough. I don't know. We might have to move something around a little bit.
Maybe Vetrov against Kaczynski?
I don't think they'd want to. I don't know. I might be going too far on the
Conspiracy,
European bias.
tinfoil hat. Here's what they might do. If we're going to do a switcheroo. And I think all these guys are
Ooh, a
beasts.
switcherooski.
We put Julio Martins against Mateusz Kaczynski, and we put Nikolai Vetrov against PJ Barch first round. Even though he's not one of the bottom guys, I know that's a tougher match for PJ, and that sucks. But
I'm honestly thinking what if we moved out like Michael Sains, switched Nikolai Vetrov and Michael Sains or something, and give Michael Sains to Mateusz Kaczynski first round.
That is a tough one for them.
That's kind of sick.
But that is sick.
Because I know we're very high on Michael Sains, but he did lose the first trials, and I'm not sure that everybody else is as high on him as we are. But
you hear that, Michael? No one loves you like we love you. I'm open to that. Yeah, what are we going to do with Mateusz Kaczynski, which is absolutely a consideration they're going to make in this bracket? Or maybe we move Kaya or somebody like that to Mateusz Kaczynski, to be honest, right? And then open up a Wagner match against Vetrov or Tommy Langaker or something.
Let's influence our own personal opinion here, and let's just pick a sick-ass match that we hope is Mateusz first round. So would that be Michael? Would it be?
That is Michael. That would be Michael if I had to matchmake.
I feel like I kind of like it. I feel like it kind of will make sense once we kind of add in, and then we take Vetrov here and put him versus
Taza.
Yep, that's a rematch from a different organization.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So that didn't happen at ADCC. So that's why. Yeah, that's. I forgot that he lost to Magomed there for a second.
Yeah, because there's going to be some sick first round matchups, so there's got to be kind of some.
So and then I feel like maybe they give Dante Taylor.
It's kind of a coin flip from there. I could see them giving Taylor to Hobinho, was kind of where I was going. And then Langaker, Dante, just because Tommy has kind of been not as in these streets, right? He's kind of making his way back and hasn't gotten it done at ADCC the same way that Dante has multiple times. But I think it's kind of a coin flip.
Does it matter at all that Taylor was the 17th person in, Like he was.
Point.
He was
That's what I was thinking.
last.
Just like they did kind of give Tommy an invite, early.
Yeah,
that is a good point.
So I'm just going to slot this, and we can just
so number 10 going to Tommy.
We've got a bracket now, so we can just kind of take a look at it.
All right, let's take a look at it.
Let's take a look at it.
Did Tommy and Hobinho face off in IBJJF though?
That actually seems super familiar. I just Googled Tommy versus Hobinho. Nothing popped up, but I do think maybe it was
search him against Alejandro, with his non-Hobinho.
Yeah.
With his government name. Somebody a matchup that is just weirdly bad, by the way, if I can just point out, if it ends up happening, that has been weirdly bad for Elijah is Tommy Langaker. They faced off very early at Nogi Worlds a couple of years ago when Tommy won his title, and Tommy kind of smoked him. And I think the world of Elijah. I think Elijah is a dark horse to win this bracket. And then they faced off at Gi Worlds again this year. And Elijah's been getting better and has really kind of reached a new level in his entire game. And Tommy's been off and is starting to rebuild. And Tommy, just still smoked him. Did the exact same sequence.
Sick fight there, yeah.
Tommy and Dante fought at 1. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. By the way,
I'm not seeing
Then they probably haven't. Or they might have won world titles the same year, something like that,
maybe.
like middle heavy kind of a situation. Another match that we might see a rematch of while we're talking about Tommy Longacher. You remember when he faced Taza, and Taza just had that like dead to rights heel hook, inside heel hook. You just were watching Tommy's, what we call a knee, where most people would have a knee, but for Tommy, just like moving around like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, just eating it.
Damn, that was crazy.
So how do you guys feel about this bracket?
Yeah, so we got Wagner versus Kai Rudolph. We got Oliver Taza versus Nikolai Vetrov. We got Elijah Dorsey versus Mateusz Gamrot. And then we got Mateusz Jasinski versus Michael Sains. And that's the top half of the bracket. And then the bottom half of the bracket is Dante Leon versus Taylor Perriman, Magomed Zarbayev there versus Jacob Borneman. That might be like the one that hits, to be honest. Like if any of these matchups like
sure.
are accurate, I feel like it's like that one.
If any of these matches are going to make you feel the same way that ADCC's TNT makes you feel, it's going to be that match.
Hobinho versus Tommy Longacher and Julio Martins versus PJ Barch. So
Pretty sick.
pretty hype bracket.
Man, what if Wagner, I feel like we're not talking about this enough. What if Wagner wins and becomes an ADCC World Champion for the first time? He's, 44? I mean, it's totally within the bounds, and he's been so close multiple times. His own kids are in the tournament. His own kids could win the tournament. I think it's totally reasonable that Achilles, who was there over the weekend, by the way, coaching up his kids, he could win minus 99 and just have this crazy coming out performance where he announces that actually he's the best in the world right now. Jasmine, I think, is one of the favorites to win her division. And I think Wagner is, probably because of the age, not quite getting enough. Just people aren't realizing enough how crazy this might end up being. It's super, super reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look back at a lot of his past matches too against like young phenoms, he had that match with Isaac Michel. He had the match with J Rod. He's obviously had a match with Mika and had the match with Elijah. So it's like, man, Wagner you can't do anything to this guy.
Bro, I think since the last ADCC, he beat Luke. You know what I mean?
It's like if you don't have
crazy.
like serious man strength to be able to compete with Wagner, it's like, man, that is a hard guy to do anything to.
There's a few guys in this bracket where I'm kind of like, they feel like they are already ADCC champions, even though they're not, like it feels like they should be. Like I would say like Wagner, Dante, PJ are all guys where it's like they kind of have the aura of a guy who is an ADCC world champion. Obviously they're not, but it's kind of like, I don't know. It just like somehow impacts my thoughts whenever I think about these guys, where I'm just like, well, those dudes feel kind of like, like they should be a part of that elite crew. So it's crazy to think about it that way.
The 77 division specifically is so exciting because, we had, of course, Cade Rotolo be, one of the youngest champions in history. And then right after, Mika came and claimed it. We don't have those guys now. And we have these guys who have been clawing at the door for a long time, for 3-4 plus years. PJ, Dante, Wagner, Mateusz Jasinski going for his third ADCC. So whoever comes out of this bracket, it's going to be obviously an incredible accomplishment, but such a deserved, kind of win for one of these guys. And, who knows? Maybe it'll be Zarbayev or Taylor Perriman or whatever. Who knows? But I feel like this is just such a fun bracket to really crown kind of a new face of this division.
I mean, think about it this way. How much were we talking about Elijah Dorsey as a top 4 finisher in 2024? You know what I mean? We weren't really.
Not much.
Especially when the brackets came out and it was Dante first round, JT second round. People come into this tournament and they change their career forever. And that's the opportunity that is being presented to everybody. I don't know if it'll happen in this division, but I know it's going to happen to somebody. Could be Taylor Perriman, could be Michael Sains, could be Kai Rudolph comes out and smokes Wagner first round for all we know, right? Julio Martins could go on a crazy run. Tommy Longacher could be back.
Maybe let's go around and say who we think would be worst case scenario to win. Who's in? Who wants to say that?
Worst case.
Put it on the internet, huh?
I feel like we've
I'll
got
make a pick.
We've got Mateusz Gamrot and Mateusz Jasinski on the same side of the bracket. I could see them potentially trying to keep those two Polish guys away from each other, not putting them on the same side of the bracket. But
they usually don't like for guys named Mateusz with a S and a Z in their name to face off.
against another.
What I've heard.
Yeah.
Mateusz, honky style.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of great guys here. So many great
still
stories.
thinking of your worst case scenario?
Oh no, I pulled back from that. Yeah, probably like a Vetrov or somebody.
Yeah,
I don't know,
I'm
but Vetrov even seems cool to have a Russian champion. How many different countries? There's got to be 6-7 different countries.
Is this one of the first times a division hasn't had a former champion in it? It's
rare, but
worth noting, right? Like I feel like that's kind of when you look at it, it's kind of like, oh damn, yeah, there's not a single former champion here.
It is, but there's a few divisions like that this time, right? Because minus 55 for the women, minus 88. Minus 66. This is an atypical ADCC because so many champions are injured or just not doing it, that it's going to open up all this opportunity, right? The matches are still just as tough. The path is still unbelievably difficult. Somebody has to climb
I feel like that
mountain.
happens kind of quite often. It's like Cabrinha didn't come back, and
Well, I don't just mean from the former year. I mean
no champions at all.
There's like
88 does have Mateusz Deniz. Yeah.
So, but there's not like. In 20, like this could have been like if JT Torres was in, then it'd be like, okay, we have a former champion, Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe it's more common than I realize. But I don't know. I just thought that was interesting a little bit.
Relatively uncommon, I would say. Relatively uncommon.
So yeah, I mean, I feel
Sorry, I brought it up.
There's a pretty good stab at the division anyway.
So yeah.
Let's do this. Who from here do you think is going to be in the absolute? Who in this is going to at least really want to sign up for the absolute? Everybody wants to do the absolute, but who's going to be serious?
I really want to see Mateusz Jasinski in the absolute.
Mateusz Jasinski for sure going to be in the
I don't
absolute.
think he will.
No?
Pavel Jaworski, though, for sure going to be in the absolute. He does every absolute that he can ever get his hands on.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably going to be the Polish absolute guy.
Is Mateusz an absolute guy? Like I don't really.
No, I don't see him. I don't think I see him too
fair.
often. But I feel like it would be sick to see Mateusz. Like in Poland,
if not here, then when?
The more we can see Mateusz Jasinski, I feel like the better there. But
Dante, obvious.
There's a
Dante going
few
for
routes
double
to
gold.
go to the absolute, There are like based on your performance. There's the like, holy shit, I just realized my dream. I'm on top of the world. Might as well do the absolute.
Yeah.
There's the, God damn, that was bad. I just need to get another match.
Yeah.
Absolute. And then there's the, I'm taking my ball and going home. I'm not doing the absolute. This is bullshit. See you guys never, So
Which we
who
just said.
knows? Those are the only routes an athlete can have during the ADCC when it comes to the absolute.
We do
But-
see those.
Yeah, Dante a contender for double gold for sure.
Dante, contender for
So
double
nuts.
gold. I think a guy like Julio Martins, those young Brazilian guys who are always super eager to prove something, I feel like usually end up throwing their hat in the ring like a Luis Paulo last time. You know what I mean? Those guys just have no fear. Who else would I like to see in there?
Little Jacob.
Little Jacob. Little Jacob's such a beast in there. Wagner made the absolute quarters last time. There's only ever been 2 medalists from the 77 kilograms division to medal in the absolute, Dante and 3, Dante, Marcelo, and Lachlan. Could get more.
Many ways to skin a cat here, of course, and many ways to make this bracket. But I feel like this is a pretty solid stab. And any way you cut this thing, it's going to be full of sick matches. So I would say if you guys enjoyed us breaking down this bracket, let us know. Maybe we'll do some more brackets. Take a look at 66, 88, 99 is super exciting as well. So maybe we can do some more of these in future episodes if you guys dug it.
Yeah, definitely. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you thought. And, also write out all of your seeds, 1 through 16. Write out every single seed and what you think they're going to be. We'll compare ours to yours. If someone comments that, we'll compare it on the next episode. We'll compare our bracket to yours, and we'll tell you what we think. We'll do a live verbal comment back to you. But thanks everyone for watching. I think we're going to have a bonus episode drop later this week, so keep your eye out for that. It's a Dante Leon in a hotel room, an undisclosed hotel room. Me and Dante were making movies in our hotel room, dude. They said, hey, what are you guys doing with all that camera gear? And I said, don't worry about it, bucko. Me and Dante Leon are going to make a little movie in my hotel room. So if you guys are into that type of thing, which I know you are because you guys are perverts and you're obsessed with my weight, then stay tuned for later this week. We're going to be dropping a Dante Leon bonus episode. But thank you guys for watching as always, and we'll see you in the next episode.